Hey, hey, hey. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Hey, God's desire for me. Thank you for being here. hmm So, how's everybody's Monday doing? The last day of June. Can you believe it? We did it. We made it halfway. At the beginning of the year, it didn't look very promising, but we made it halfway. So, yeah. How was your day today? Oh, my glasses are dirty. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Usually I have a cleaning wipe right here handy. But yeah, anyways. Yes, we made it indeed halfway through. So yeah, how was your day today? My day was pretty good. My son was in town for a couple of days, and so we had breakfast together this morning and spent a few hours just hanging out. He's a hoot. I think these kids these day and age. Um, oof, girl. Um, that part. Hey, official Jamie. Oh, actually, the colonoscopy for me was not that bad. I mean, people talk about the clean out part, the preparation part, and all of that. It really wasn't that bad for me. The and they use the good drugs. Oh, I'm sorry, rugs. They have good, soft, fluffy rugs. Wait, 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 wait. Um, and so you feel no pain. Um, so yeah. So I really can't complain about it. It wasn't horrible, um, at all because you don't know you're asleep. You don't know. So yeah. Yeah, you walked in on the good stuff. I was talking about big, nice, big, fluffy rugs. Um, because I can't say that word that begins with D. So, okay, I'm like having a fit here. It's here. It's right here, y'all. Like my glasses. I don't know. I don't know. I must have had them on when I hugged my son or something. Because I don't know what's on them, but they're smudged, and it's not like the regular dirt. Usually, because I mean, the glasses collect anything that's in the air and anything that blows in your face. But yeah, anyways, uh, yeah, nice. They're really nice, really luxurious rugs. Um, Fluffy and soft, and yeah. So, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the idea of it is worse than the truth, the reality of it. So that's what I'm saying. But anyways, I didn't do anything in particular today. Like I said, just hung out with my son for a little bit. Um, Spent some time on the phone. And yeah, well, I did cook. I cooked breakfast this morning, so there's that. But I had already cooked, prepared most of my meals for the week anyway. So for dinner, I just warmed something up. I didn't cook again for a second time today. How are you, GT Junior? Thanks for being here. So I do have some. Oh, I was gonna tell y'all. Mike put up a video a long time ago about making chia pudding, and I've been back on my chia pudding this week. I'm trying to do it every day for the next 30 days. Um, um, for a reason. I don't like chia pudding as chia pudding, but it's okay. You can ask them for unflavored or different flavored solution. Um, it's a weird taste anyway, so whatever flavor you get is gonna be weird. But if you're like me, I'd rather a plain bad taste than a fake orange bad taste. So unflavored can might be one for you. But anyway, oh, Mike, I was gonna say Mike had his video up with a recipe for his chia pudding in it. And I went over there and I watched the video and I rewatched the video and I was like, maybe if I fix it this way, I'll kind of like it. And so I did. I made some. And then I was like, why did you think you would like that? You don't like coconut milk. And I'm, I think it's the first time I've ever bought coconut milk. Maybe not. I might have bought it before because I have made curry, Indian creamy style curry before. So maybe it's the second time I bought coconut milk. And I didn't get um the carton, the coal. I got the can. And but anyways, I don't particularly care for coconut milk. But I mean it's not awful bad um or anything like that. I just don't prefer coconut milk. So I'll have to try it with a different milk maybe, but I don't know. Uh, yeah, anyways. But I can do just plain chia. Well, I have a chia mix. So it's chia flax hemp mix. I can do that with water and I can just mix it with water and then put the resulting pudding mix whatever in other things, and that's how I've done it before. So I really didn't do it like a pudding. Sometimes I'll put it in yogurt, plain yogurt, and add some vanilla to that. It's really good. Hey sugar, how you doing? So I'm gonna finish this pudding here, and because I didn't like it and I don't like coconut, I thinned it down with some so it's more of like a it's more of a milkshake than a pudding. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, whatever. I think I could get used to it. But I don't like coconut. That's weird. I don't even know why I thought that would be a good choice. Don't do it. Don't start it by him. Please don't start it. Y'all are funny. But anyway, what else was I going to talk about today? It rained today. If you had talked to me any day over the last like 30 days, I probably could have said it rained today. No, we actually have had at least 5 days this month where it didn't rain. Hey, Auntie Ellen. How you doing? But yeah, it's it's rain. It's been a rainy month. And the days where it didn't rain or the days where we only got like a light shower have been hot. Very, very hot. Hey, Life with Wanda. Thanks for coming in. Auntie Ellen, are you back at home or are you still at your second home? Are you having fun? I hope you are. Hey, Mike. Oh, yeah. Jamie, are you still here? If you're still here, I wanted to tell Mike that you like the Candy Roaster squash because he's the reason I got it. Yeah, he's the reason I got it. because he liked it so much. And I was like, oh, I want to try that one. This one is so good. I'm like, I want to try that one. Um, and then when I got it, I loved it. That's the other thing. I loved it. What? Somebody's, somebody's playing. Okay. I was like, this cannot be. How is this is not right? But yeah. Hello, 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 hello. Honda, hello, yes, I'm here. Crazy. But yeah, it rained today. This is not right. I guess it is. It has to be. Anywho, and I'm afraid to go outside. It's so green and so lush. It's like a tropical jungle. And I feel like there's things are gonna fall onto me on the top. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I feel like if I walk outside, something's gonna fall on top of my head and it's gonna be crawling on me and it's gonna be deadly. Yeah, I might be a little extra. But anyways, so I'm afraid send some my way. We are at high now. It's been the highs all day. Mm. Honey, if I could send some of this rain your way, I wouldn't, because the thing about the rain is I have not had to water. Um, I haven't had to water my trees at all. And um and I haven't had to water my in-ground garden at all. Now the containers, yes, but the in-ground and the yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. The the in-ground and the well, the trees, they haven't needed water. My trees, so that's kind of cool. I don't know what I'm doing. You know how to do something, but you don't really know how to do it. That is where we are. So, anyways, let me look at this. I was really looking hard at what I was trying to do, and I was not paying attention. But I felt like that a few days ago. Still afraid, but I keep busy not to be paranoid. Yeah, you have to. Weather for New Haven. Wait a minute, hold on. Did I miss any others? Anchorage. Weather for Anchorage. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, I'm going to be caught up in a second. Weather for Anchorage. Conditions are cloudy with a temperature of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the west at 0 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 58%. Okay, Mike's in the bushes for a minute. Weather for New Haven. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the south-southeast at 3 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 95%. Did I miss one? Anchorage, New Haven, Cleveland. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the south at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 89%. Weather for Palm Bay. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 71 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the west-southwest at 5 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 94%. I was working on this blanket, and it's done. So, I just need to weave in the ends. It's just a granny blanket with a white border on it. But yeah, it's done. It's done. And it's baby sized. Um, it's a gift for a friend, or really an acquaintance, but yeah, it's just a gift, for her grandbaby, her miracle baby. Thank you. Thank you. I don't like to work with acrylic in the summertime, but babies are born when babies are born, you know? And I like to have less than I like to have less than a 10-day turnaround off from when if I promise you something. I don't want it to go longer than that. And so I need to get that done and in the mail. It's going in the mail tomorrow. How big is the blanket? It's a baby size, so it's literally about 40 by 40. It's about 40 by 40. A little over a yard. Yeah, a little over a yard. Square. It's not super big, but a baby size. Yeah, sometimes I do them bigger than that, but this was a case of yarn chicken. I played yarn chicken and I won. On the last row of that blanket, I was running down to the end, and I needed just enough to do like 2 more stitches. And so I took that whole row out and said, I'm going to do it tighter. So I did it a little bit tighter. And I got all the way around and it's like, I just need 1 more stitch. So I took it out again. So I'm going to do it a little bit tighter. Don't want to do it so much tighter that there's a big difference between the 2 rows sitting on top of each other. But there I go. Taking the whole thing out again and then doing it all over again, getting to the end, getting that last stitch just about done. I was like, oh, we're going to do this. Took it back to the last corner and done. And then you're sitting there blocking it out. But anyways, long story short, I played yarn chicken, and after cheating and going back a couple of times, I won. Yeah, yarn chicken. When you're coming to the end of the row and you don't know if you're going to have enough yarn to finish it, and you go, I'm going to go ahead and do this row. I'm going to have enough. I'm going to have enough. And then you get to the end and you don't have enough. Yeah, that part. I probably had never heard that term. Um, Really, it's been within the last 5 years. Yarn chicken. My Renaissance grandma, how are you? Thanks for coming in. I hope I spoke to everybody. I just washed my face with the turmeric soap tonight, and I was thinking, I, I can't use this every day, but it sure does feel good. Oh, my skin is very, very sensitive, and just different things will set me off, and so I can usually try something once and get away with it, but I can't do it like 3 days in a row and get away with it. I usually do unscented and everything, but I have not had any issues with my Renaissance grandma's soap, so I just err on the side of caution when it comes to this skin of mine. And that's an interesting thing too. People forget that people can be allergic to anything. Um, People forget that allergic reactions are just chemical reactions, and that it's not. Um, so there's like no impossibilities. You can say, well, you can't be allergic to air. Well, you can be allergic to something that's in the air, some component of it. But anyway, I say all that to say that people are weird. People are weird. And I'm one of them, so I'm weird too. Yeah. I thought I would make a couple of hats to send with that baby blanket. I have this other yarn. I was gonna use this for the blanket, but I didn't have enough for the blanket. But so I had this, and I thought this is cute, and it's a lighter weight. It's a sport weight, whereas the other one, okay, well, this is a 3, and the other one's a 4. A sport weight versus a worsted weight. So yeah, it's a lighter weight, and to me the finished product will be softer in this than in the other one. That's one thing about crocheting and knitting that I never really gave much thought to over the years. Um, I think is because maybe when I started, when I learned how to crochet, I was living in the country and we had limited access to a lot of things. And so the only yarn that I ever saw was acrylic worsted weight yarn. The other option was rug yarn, and then there was cotton, the 100% cotton threads, and they only went up to a certain size. And that's it. Those were your options that I knew about. I'm not saying that there weren't other options. I'm saying those are the ones that I knew about. And so I never really gave any thought to the different um, final product of the different size, this weight yarn versus this weight yarn, and and then also the size of the hook you use um, as well. I am tripping all over my words. I don't understand what's going on here. Anyways, I don't feel well. It's been a week, y'all. It has been a week. I got some not so good news on I don't even know what day it was. One day. And then 2 days later I got another phone call. And it's like, really? And then I see a video. So one of my friends drops a video, and it's like, really? Mm. It's been a week, but you know what? Yeah, it's been a week. And so I'm tired. Um, Sleep hasn't been easy, and rest hasn't been easy. So I'm tired. Um, and a little bit, I don't know what the word is, a little bit in my feels. That's what I'll say, a little bit in my feels. But anyways, it's been a week. I hope that you guys have had a good week and are walking into another good week coming up. Yeah. This rain doesn't help. I feel like the rain doesn't help. Thank you. Thank you. Thank all of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. My I think my cucumbers, I don't know what's going on with them, but they're like acting like they want to die. So drop some more seeds. It's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, then I'll just drop some more seeds and I'll keep trying. My green beans, they were um starting to get slow. So I pulled those up and dropped some more seeds. And with all this rain, well, like I said, I'm afraid to go out there. Um, I'm not really afraid to go out there. I just don't want to go um, out there. I don't want to go outside. I'm hoping that maybe when the rain goes away and the sun comes out, I'll feel better. Even though the days we've been getting a little sun every day, and I go outside in that sun every day. I just heard something. I need to check my back door camera. I love that camera. That's the one that GT Junior. There's nothing out there. That's the one that GT Junior told us about on here. My backdoor camera. I love it. And I can see there's nothing in my yard. Must be the wind blowing. We had a thunderstorm to come through earlier. I almost canceled the live because I wasn't sure I was going to have a signal tonight. Um, what time? That was 9. It's a weather alert. That was from 2 hours ago, so whatever it was, it's probably already passed here. But yeah, just had to take that whole row out. Back in Connecticut, 6 speed, desperately trying to get my Connecticut garden planted. Take your time, you'll get it done. Just for a little bit at a time, you can get it done. I'm still trying to figure out where to put some of my perennial plants because the weather, it's if it's too if it's a wet spring and an early summer or a wet spring and a late summer, everything changes everything. And so um yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out, do they do better over here where they get the afternoon sun, or over there where they get just the morning sun, or over there where they get dappled sun and mostly shade? I don't know. I don't know. And so until I figure all that stuff out, they're staying where they are in containers. Um, I might actually put them in ground once I figure out where they're gonna go. But that's my blueberries and the blackberry. I'm not worried about. It's gonna stay in the container because those things are invasive. And what else do I have over there in container? Oh, it's staying in a container too because those things are aggressive. What is it called? Elderberry. Um, I gotta look up elderberry leaves too. Do y'all know use what you use elderberry leaves for? Do you make a tea out of it or a wash or what? But I heard somebody on something, I forget what it was on, talking about that, and they were saying, how do you preserve elderberry leaves? And they were saying, oh, you can dry them or you can freeze them. I'm like, wait, what? What are we using elderberry leaves for? I knew about the berries, I knew about the flowers, but I did not know anything about the leaves. So if anybody knows what you use them for, let me know. I'll probably go into Perplexity and look it up later on tonight. Speaking of Perplexity, did any of y'all use AI? And if so, which one and what for? What was I gonna ask Perplexity? Yeah, that. So yeah, does anybody use AI? Chat GPT, or I think one's called Gemini, or Perplexity is one that I use on occasion. Um, and and if you do, what do you use it for? How do you use it? Oh yeah, elderberry leaves, exactly. That's what I was gonna look up. You can make a medicine for issues, but not a tea. I don't use AI, but I need to. I don't know that you need to. It's, well, maybe. I don't know that you need to. I mean, it's a good tool to have. It can do some cool things. I like to ask it questions like, what can you use elderberry leaves for? Because it's easier. It will summarize all of the articles that it finds. And so you don't have to read this one and then read this one and then read this one and then read this one and go, this one says this and that one says that. It does that for you. Sorry. AI is interesting. I don't know a lot about it. Um, so of course I went to YouTube University on that and learned a little bit. I've heard different people using them for different things. I have mostly I use it like a search engine. And it does that really good. So rather than Google it, I'll use AI. I'll use AI to do the search. And so that's the way I use it most of the time. But sometimes I use it kind of like enhanced search. Like there was a TikTok about one of the mayors in the LA area that had the fires earlier this year, saying something about da 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 when we set the fires. I don't know what the whole quote is, but anyways. So I wanted to find the source of that information. And so I went to Perplexity and I asked, um, what is the reference for the mayor of, I forgot what town it was. I looked up the town saying when, in quote, when we set the fires for the recent LA fires. And it turned out that they had a recording of that that there was a recording of that town meeting where he had quote unquote no, he didn't say misspoke. Hold on, let me get it right. He didn't say that. He said, I don't remember. Oh my God. Anyways, he said one thing about why he I don't know. He gave one reason, and then but all of the summary articles and the news said that he misspoke. He never said he misspoke. I thought it was funny that he said that, that he never said he misspoke. And then social media got onto that too. That was that was a crazy little tangent to get on. But the bottom line is the guy said when we started the fires as if the the town had actually started the fires, which maybe they did. Maybe they did. But I don't know about all of that. All I know is that it was that I used the AI to hey David Corey. I used the AI to go back to find the source material on that. So it was kind of like a reverse search. Okay. I'm almost out of the chia seeds. How you doing, David Corey? How was your Monday? So I need to get some more. Do y'all eat chia seeds? Do y'all eat chia seeds? Do you make chia pudding? Have you found it to be helpful in any way? Hot. You ain't hot. You in Texas. That's the latest song. You ain't hot. You're in Texas. I keep hearing something. I'm like, did my dishwasher running? No. Is the refrigerator doing something? Maybe. But anyway, I don't like hearing things like that. Well, I hope you cool off. I'm glad that you're doing well. Did you have a good Monday? Did y'all get some of this rain today or did y'all get it yesterday? Or not at all? We got a pretty good, it rained for a good little bit today. We've been getting showers every day, but today it's a good little bit. What's going well in your garden? Not much is going well in my garden. Well, the cowpeas are going great. The butterfly pea is doing great. The onions are doing great. Yeah, quite a few things are doing well in my garden. What was I thinking? I don't even know what I'm talking about. What was I thinking? I have two, what are they called? Um, green stalks out there, and they're both, almost all the pockets are planted in both, and there's herbs growing in both, and they've been doing really well. I was kind of concerned about how much soil they could actually hold, how much root development you could get in them. Um, but then when I heard that people could actually grow carrots in a green stalk, I'm like, what sorcery is this? You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been really pleased with um, mine this year. I've got some different, different kinds of plants growing in there, and different ones are doing pretty well. My green beans are fine. My basil is outstanding. I've got um, Thai basil and lemon basil and lime basil out there, and they're doing really great. What else is doing? What else do I have out there? Got peppers. I got some cabbage. I was like, what is it? But I don't know if it is cabbage, but I have some cabbage. Not cabbage, like choy, bok choy. Um, some more herbs. Can't even think of what they are. Some more herbs, some onions. Um, I said green beans, yeah, green beans. Oh, and cucumbers. And so far, and herbs, lots of herbs. Um, most things are doing well. And the things that aren't doing well, I think, are because of the not because of the green stalk, it's because of either I'm not on staying on top of it with water, or where I have it placed, it gets too much sun. My purple hulls are coming up. Oh, yeah. I have Lady Krim peas, and I have some pink eye purple hull that I didn't plant, but I have Lady Krim that come up every year. I had them 1 year, and they've been coming up every year for the last 3 years. And they come up in the beds and in the grass and um, just everywhere. If you drop one of those peas on the ground, they're gonna start growing there. So yeah, I do have those out there. Do you ever eat them green, David? Do you ever pick them young and eat them green, or do you wait for the peas to develop and pick them all dry, or somewhere in between? Because they're edible at any stage. I guess if I picked them green, I wouldn't have to worry about them coming back every year. No, you wait. Yeah. Yeah, I mostly wait because um, you don't have to worry about picking them right away. Wait until they're purple. Yeah. Um, you don't have to wait to worry about picking them right away. You can let them dry on the stem. So it's not like other things where if you don't pick it today or tomorrow, you might lose it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm started on a little round here. I don't know how big to make this hat. I forgot about kids sizing. Babies have big old heads. Shouldn't say that. And they are easier to shell. Yeah, they are easier to shell if you let them dry. That's the problem. They're so easy to shell, they open right up on the stem and drop peas everywhere. And then the next 80 years, you have peas. That's a survival food. If you're not planting cowpeas, I don't care which kind, pink eye, purple hull, lady cream, black eye, whatever, half eye, tiger eye, whatever, I don't know. Any whatever, if you're not planting some kind of a cowpea, you should, because well, maybe not, but like I was saying, it's a survival food. You can, if you grow at one time, you always have seed for the seeds tend to last stay viable a pretty long time, and it's a food that it's a food that provides a lot of nutrition, um, when properly combined with other vegetables that may be available at the time. But yeah, it's definitely a survival food, um, and it's easy to grow. You don't have to, and it's not. You drop the seeds on the ground, literally, and you're gonna have them. So, yep. But I did get from a friend of mine. Did I tell you all about them? I think I did. Some pink eye purple hull top pick is what it is called. It came from the local what they call them, the seed. We used to call them seed and feed. Um, yeah, seed and feed is what we used to call them. And they're called top pick. I don't know if they grow like more of a bushy than a viney, and so all the flowers come out the top, or what. I think I planted some. I have to go check. Like I said, I think I planted some. I feel like I'm about to choke. But we'll see. We'll see when they come in what that top pick actually means. Actually, I could look it up. I could ask the AI to tell me. It always comes back to that AI. I plan to build an enclosure for them. Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. Artichokes are like ginger. They're survival too. I've never grown artichokes. Tell me more. I just finished dropping some beans and they are 50 days. Oh, okay, nice. Artichokes are like ginger. Okay. I plan on building an enclosure for them. Okay. Um, I need to drop some more green beans. Gosh, my eye is itchy. I don't. What is going on? Ugh. Anyways, I want to drop some more green beans, and I already said I was going to do some more cucumbers. I dropped some cucumbers yesterday. Probably gonna drop some more tomorrow. And then I got to figure out what I need to do in my garden because um, my my beds that are surrounded by woods, some of them are coming apart. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna get some stones or some bricks or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with them. Or maybe I may just get some more pressure treated wood and or I might just get some more scrap wood from around the house, from around the yard, and put another temporary up there until that rots and rinse and repeat. I don't know what I'm going to do. Build an enclosure for your beans. Those are some lucky beans. I think that's not big enough. Yeah. Artichokes known as sunchokes grow a root crop that's perennial. I think you grow row. Um, has grown sunchokes before. I've never done grown sunchokes. And somebody else, I don't remember. I remember us being in a live stream and somebody talking about growing them or something, but I don't remember who it was. But I might try sunchokes. Actually, there's a market here, the international market, that probably has them. Um, I guess I could go to Whole Foods up in Birmingham if I'm up that way and look. Sometimes they have things that you can't get here because we don't have a Whole Foods anymore. Sound like I'm mad about it? I'm not. What I'm mad is that we had a perfectly good um, organic natural food store, um, and then Whole Foods came in. I don't know if they bought them out or what, but that they conveniently went out of business, and then Whole Foods came in, um, and then Whole Foods stayed for like 2 minutes, and then I guess they decided that the market they couldn't support it, so they left. And yet the store that we had had before had been there for a minute, but they knew that they couldn't compete with Whole Foods coming in. I'm really not happy about that. Uh, Don't get me wrong either. I like Whole Foods, and when we had Whole Foods, I shopped there because they have. You have Amazon Prime, you get free. You used to get free delivery with Whole Foods. They changed that when they found out how many people had Prime. They changed that quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't really know much about the whole survival food things, honestly. Um, and the only reason I say that those would be one is because um, how easy they are to grow and how the seeds are easy to keep. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do a lot special to them. So, it doesn't have to be at a certain temperature, doesn't have to be at a certain humidity. I'm sure there's probably a range, but it's not a narrow range. And they stay viable for a long time. There's, all those kinds of things um, is what I was talking about. But I really don't know very much about survival foods. Um, and I guess another one that I would say would be a good winter squash. Um, Again, same for the seeds and stuff, but also the food itself is easy to store in a lot of different conditions. You don't need any special conditions. You don't have to can it. You don't have to pickle it. You don't have to freeze it. Um, so, you know, and the seeds are easy to collect, easy to store. Um, so I guess I would say that a winter squash would be a good survival food. That's just the things that I'm thinking about. Let's see. David says artichokes. No, oh, he said beans, potatoes. Yeah, survival food. Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't want to survive because I don't want none of those. I haven't grown well, other than sweet potatoes. I haven't grown potatoes in years. And I used to grow potatoes. Actually, potatoes is one of the things that got me started back gardening. Um, it was potatoes and then my muscadines. And onions, potatoes, and those were what brought me back. Kind of brought me back to gardening where I really had stopped for a while. But beans and potatoes, yeah. Sweet potatoes. I know sweet potatoes are easy. Potatoes are easy. For me, I have never had any problem with potatoes. I put some soil in the bottom of a bucket. I put some potatoes on top of the soil. I put some more soil on top of the potatoes, and I put them aside and watch them grow. And then when the tops start to wilt, I dump the bucket out and harvest my potatoes. So yeah, I- and I've grown potatoes. I grew a lot of potatoes, but I guess when my son left, it was like, yeah, no. He eats the potatoes. He's the potato guy in the household, and he's the one who eats the potatoes. Who daily he eats potatoes every single day. So when he really when he moved out, 4 years ago, um, it's like I stopped needing potatoes so much. So it's like I stopped buying potatoes and I stopped growing potatoes. But anyway, sweet potatoes are easy. I used to say sweet potatoes were easy until that one year when I didn't get any. And I don't know why. I still don't know why. But I was like, what? I have never not gotten sweet potatoes. Well, I had one year where I didn't get any. There just weren't any potatoes out there. It's like, okay. But I hope I get some this year because I've got three different kind of potatoes growing out there. I hope I have three different kinds of potatoes growing out there. Um, but I fell in love with the purple potatoes, and so it's like I want to grow those again. And that's actually, I've only grown the regular, like, what are the? I don't even know what they're called. Beauregard or something. I don't know what it's called, y'all. I just made up something. Um, but yeah, I haven't grown those. I've only grown those once, and I didn't have a really. I didn't have. It wasn't a bad year. When I grew those, but I've like I said, I've only grown those once. Um, but I've grown the purple ones several times. Um, do you plant slips or a potato? Okay, with sweet potatoes, I put a potato in my garden and cover it halfway up. And then when the slips start to form on that potato, I break them off and put them in the ground until I have enough. And that potato, I may leave it there and let it keep on growing because the vines will grow out and they'll touch the ground, they'll put down roots, and they'll make potatoes. So sometimes I leave that potato there. But yeah, that's what I do. That's how I get my slips. I put a potato out there, um, and till it forms slips. But at the same time, this year, some of my potatoes weren't doing it. Um, some of the potatoes weren't doing anything, and so I did put a couple potatoes in the paper bag, and I did get some slips off of that. David, did you hear what I say? I don't plant the whole potato. I put it halfway under so I can get slips off of it. Halfway, lay it down that way, and put the soil up until half of it stay out of the soil and half of it's under the soil. You get roots going down and you get slips coming up, right? That's what you do. And when the slips come up, you break them off and you take them someplace else and put them in your garden, and you get potatoes from that. That's how I do it. No, I don't want you to erase it. I want people to see the conversation. This is- I want people just to see the conversation. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that if you planted the whole potato, you wouldn't get potatoes. You'd only get slips. I, but I didn't. I've never tried to plant a whole potato because it doesn't make sense. Um, if you got potato, like right now, I have potatoes on my table. The potatoes that I have on my table, the potatoes that I have on the table have slips on them. So if you have potatoes, you're gonna have slips. Why would you plant the whole potato? You can eat the potato and get the slips off of it. You can have your potato and eat it too. Okay, sometimes I'm silly, guys. Sometimes I'm silly. But yeah, I never knew that you couldn't do it that way, but I never tried to do it that way because it never made sense to me when slips were easy enough to get and you still got to eat your potato. I love sweet potatoes. That's one of the things that I like to. If I'm cooking anything in the oven, which means not until November now, but if I'm cooking anything in the oven, and I have okay, you're back. All right, my slips took off outside. But anyway, if I'm cooking anything in the oven and I have sweet potatoes, then I will go ahead and wash them and rub them in oil and put them in the oven while I'm baking whatever it is I'm baking, so that I'll have some baked sweet potatoes. Um, I will bake them by themselves too, but if I'm cooking something else, I usually will put some sweet potatoes in there because I just like them cold. Um, so as soon as they cool off, will stick them in the refrigerator, and I like them cold. I'll grab one in the morning. Um, for breakfast, and I just like to eat it cold. Um, it's funny. I grew up eating them not cold but room temperature because we didn't have to, for whatever reason, we didn't have to refrigerate them like you do now. Oh, good night, my Renaissance grandma. Thanks so much for coming in. What's everyone's favorite fruit? Mine says the cherry. I don't know what that is. What is that? Sweet potatoes love heat for growth. Yeah. Um, what's your favorite fruit? I would say, mm, I don't know. um, right now, right now, my favorite fruit, like today, my favorite fruit is the cherry plum. I have to put my sweet potato slips outside this week in Connecticut. All right. All right. Get them in. Yeah. I got a bunch of slips this year, so I was excited. I was really excited. I would come in the afternoon and I would walk out there, do, 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 and I would say, ooh, and I'd break off a couple of slips and I'd walk over and I'm going to put you right here, and I'm going to put you right here, and I'm going to put you right here. And then I would get my little bucket and I would water them in real good. And I would walk out there every day to check on my little slips to make sure that they were getting rooted in and everything. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, so yeah, kind of excited about it. Um, and I probably planted way too many. How are Chickasaw plum labeled in the store? Um, it's labeled Chickasaw plum, but I've never seen it in the store. Um, what do we call them? If you go to the farm market during plum season, they sell them green and ripe here because a lot of people love green plums. I think it's because when they was kids, they used to climb the trees and get the green ones. But anyways, but they sell them green and ripe here. But the season is not very long. And they just call them, usually they either call them wild plums or native plums. And at the farm market, either wild plums or native plums. I need, oh, I don't know. I want a Glen or ice cream mango tree. Ooh, I need ground cherry seeds. Hey, Darth, I just got a green gauge plum tree. Okay. Cool beans. I'm excited for plums. I got a plum off of my newest plum trees that from this year, and then I got multiple plums on my older plum tree. Um, so I'm really excited. Hopefully next year will be a good plum year. I have a lapin cherry tree. I want a cherry tree. When you asked what my favorite fruit was, I almost said the cherry, but right now today is that plum cherry, pluary, whatever it's called, chipleri. a chiplome, whatever it's called. Um, yeah, that's my favorite fruit today. But I do like cherry trees. Cherries, fresh cherries, the black cherries. Except this lady on YouTube um got sick from some cherries. Well, she got sick after eating some cherries, to put it that way. And, they're trying to say that it wasn't the cherries, but she's like, yeah, it was the cherries. And that for her, she thought it was might be related to um, some chemical that they spray on them before they harvest. Um, but yeah. My son is in Georgia, and I want him to try the Chickasaw plums and muscadines. He'll need to go to the farmer's market or to a roadside fruit stand or something like that, and they'll say they have wild plum. He's with Granddad, GT, Senior. I love cherries. Oh, his mom. Oh, good visit. But yeah, he'll I don't know. Well, they might be. It just depends. Um, on where in Georgia he is. Um, but yeah, if he's in Atlanta, he might be able to find some at the DeKalb Farmers Market, the big one. I almost said Harry's and I forgot. Dang it, they pushed Harry's out. The big farmers market and really pushed Harry's out. Harry's used to be the best. Oh, and Columbus. Mm, I don't know Columbus that well. But there in Columbus, there are bound to be some trucks on the side of the road kind of places. That's where you would find those plums. I should know Columbus pretty well because it's only like an hour from here. Yes, wild plums are smaller. David, you've never been to Columbus. Obviously, you've never been to Columbus. My mom loves black cherries. I brought her some at the farmer's market last week and saved the seeds. Oh, I want to see what happens with that. I have wild cherry trees, wild black cherries, the little ones, um, sprouting up in my yard all over the place. It's driving me crazy. I can't keep them out of my shrubs, and the birds keep bringing in more and more seeds. We're gonna have a fight, and I'm gonna win. I love the honeyberry. I don't have a honeyberry. My entire family is in Columbus, Georgia. No way, Mike. Seriously? Like, Columbus is like just an hour from here. Cali has black plum trees on the streets. Oh, okay. Yeah. In fact, Columbus is so close that one of the nonprofits that my husband works with has used to have their offices in Columbus. And so he was over there at least once or twice a week. That's how close. Like it was just about an hour. You, Mike, and GT, maybe kinfolk. No, probably not. My family's not here. I'm here. But he might be cousin-in-law. Put it that way. Might be cousin-in-law. 70% of my family's in Columbus. Wow. Yeah, my dad was one of about 11 kids. Okay, yeah. We might be cousins-in-law. Most of my family's on the East Coast, um, coast of North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Delaware. Yeah, that's where most of my family is, up and down there. Because we didn't really have very many. I mean, we had a cousin or two in Atlanta, but not a lot. As not as much as you would think. Y'all cousins and just found each other. Oh, I got a DNA match on whatever. I don't even know the name of those things. Oh, I have a cousin. Third cousin twice removed. Oh, that's funny. Like, since I got a billion cousins, hey, my mom was one of 12, my dad was one of 11. I got a billion cousins too. Oh my God, don't start with that, David. I always say we're all related. Yes, we are all related. We all came from a common source. My dad's one of 10. I think some of us here have something in common. We might be close in age because in that era people had kids. In my parents' era, people had lots of kids. Um, in fact, my uncle, who was closer in age to my grandparents than to the rest of the uncles and aunts and uncles, um, yeah, he had 9 kids. I'm sitting there looking, visualizing 9 kids because he had, you know how they hang graduation pictures on the wall, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But yeah, 9 kids, 3 girls and 6 boys. But yeah, most of us come from big families. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Oh my God, most men were at that time. Yeah, that's another thing. I was thinking about this the other day. We're talking since y'all brought up families. I was thinking about DNA. Um, and it's like I don't know that I would ever do a DNA test voluntarily because I don't want to know about the other families. I'm not saying that there are other families, but there could be, and I just don't want to know about it. At this point in life, put it this way, at this point in life, I just don't want to know. Um, because I know it was so weird. It was so weird when you would go home for a family reunion and a new cousin would pop up, and it was like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." And then you're like, "Now, whose child is that?" Well, wasn't he married to so and so at that time? Well, don't he have another kid that age? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So, anyways, wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he, DNA won't tell you that, but genealogy will. I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference. And the government already has my DNA anyway because I worked for the government for 37 years. So they already got me. But, so it's not that I'm afraid to put it out there because it's already out there. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of selfish. I was like, I got enough family already. I don't need any more. Um, but I know there's more. I absolutely know there's more. I know that there are more cousins for sure. Because there's some cousins that, like I said, that I met at a family reunion after I was an adult, um, or you know, that I met at a funeral. There are cousins that I met at a funeral, um, that I'd never met before. Their dad, my uncle, passed, and there were kids. Like he had a whole two families worth of kids. Two, yeah. And the older kids, I didn't know anything about at all, and I met them at his funeral. So yeah, I know there's people out there, and you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I got two little cousins who, and I'm saying little just because that's how I think of them, because they would be in their 40s or 50s now. But I have two little cousins that I haven't seen in so long, and I need to find them. I don't know where they are. That makes me sad. That makes me truly sad to not know where they are. But I know that they're out there somewhere, and I need to find them, um, and hook up with them, my little cousins. And I guess I will always think of them as my little cousins. But like I said, they're in their 40s and 50s now. So how little is that? That's crazy. So what are you guys looking forward to for the next 6 months? Um, I did. Some I took a class on forming a business, starting a business, not on starting a business, but some components of starting a business. And I took the class, and it was very interesting, and I learned some things in there. And so I think I may look up some more information about that. I got a creepy cousin slut with his eyes open. Yeah, I might look up some more information about that, and do some more considering on starting a business. I'm not exactly sure what direction that will take or what direction that will be, but that's one thing for the next 6 months. And of course, I'm going to continue my garden, and I'm going to have a fall garden as well. It's like I got a creepy cousin that slept with his eyes open. That's funny. I have a couple of creepy had a couple of creepy cousins, that I was legit scared of, like legit. When we would go and visit, or when they would come and visit, I'm like, I'd be hugging my mama's side, like staying with my mom, and I was always on go. With, I'm hugging my mama's side with my fist up. I'm on go because he creeped me out, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight. I'm looking forward to getting my second house in the mail next week. Chicken house? Cool. I think you said chicken house. I'm like, you buying houses in the mail now? Somebody needs to fill me in on that. My I just ordered I told y'all that the the system that we like was on sale on Amazing, and I ordered one because when I see that they have some in stock, I think about getting one. I might not need it right now, but I got one, and so it's on the way. So I'm excited about that. There's another piece of mail. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there was something else I'm looking forward to receiving. And I need to send out some mail. I need to run to the post office tomorrow and drop a package off. I should probably wash it tonight. I finished that blanket. I need to wash it, and I need to get it in the mail. And I need to work on this hat if I want to make it. I've got the crown done. That's cute. I think I'm gonna do a cat ear hat after this. I think they're cute. The little, the square ones with the little pointy ears. I think they're cute. So I think I might do a little cat ear hat for the baby. I don't know. I might. I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I want my second. Oh, your second greenhouse, like the one I meant, like the one I have. Okay. WIG 2025. Yep. Yep. That's true. In 6 months. Y'all know what's gonna happen. This happens to me every time. DT, I was wondering if they were going to always live in the garage. Yep, I was looking at greenhouses today. All right. Oh, until I Google that. Hey Jack, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Chickens be happy to get outside. Yeah, I was trying to think of what else I have planned for the next 6 months. Like I said, some personal development type stuff as far as looking at a business. I'm definitely doing some spiritual development. I'm working with a friend of mine on some things, so I'm excited about that. And possibly, I don't know. I'm contemplating going back to school, but I've got to look to see what I would go back to school for. Um, but that's a possibility. But it probably wouldn't be. I mean, I might would start in January. So yeah, that's 6 months. So yeah, I was like, you just buy art, Jack. I want to get back to making art. I haven't painted in a long time. In fact, I bought myself a new easel and I've not even used it. It was 90 degrees here today. We cooking things in the greenhouse. Yeah. I don't know how hot it was today. Actually, it was nice out. When I go out, I went out at 8-ish to take the trash out, and it was nice. It's so funny. I walked outside, and I was like, "Oh, it's nice out here." And so, yeah, it was really nice. And so I stood out there for a minute. Let me see. It was 90 here today. We cooking things in the greenhouse. I'm a procrastinator, so the chicken coop has taken years to finish. Just a little truth. The fine art of procrastination. Not everybody can do it. There's some of us who do it well. We might have a tutorial on it in case anybody needs to learn the fine art of procrastination. Yeah, David, I really need to get back on the canvas, or at least, I mean, the least I can do is open up a coloring book, even. I haven't done anything art related. I got some Japanese wood block prints I brought at an auction. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Did y'all see that video of these dancers who were doing origami? Literally, their costumes, their clothes were angles, like triangular and flat. And so every time they would move, it would go into a different shape of an origami. It was so cool. Um, yeah, years. I did it too well. I hope you get to go out and enjoy your garden this summer and get some ground cherries planted. I'm a buyer of art, so I pursue it. Oh, okay. I made Japanese wood blocks in art class years ago. It was not easy. Um, I stabbed my my thumb. Mike, you got me scared. For you. I think I'm hungry. Isn't that weird? It's like, why am I suddenly hungry? Well, not suddenly. Well, I did finish that, so I shouldn't be hungry. Maybe I'm thirsty. I'll drink some more water. I think I just want a snack. I might make some popcorn later. I might make some popcorn. It's so funny. I got y'all, this don't have nothing to do with nothing, but I got some popcorn. I have been eating popcorn lately. And I had hundreds of wood gouges and super sharp. I slipped. I do have some wood gouges because I wanted to learn to do some woodworking. And yeah, that part. But anyways, I was saying that I bought some popcorn. And I bought the small white kernels. And that's what I've been eating like for the last maybe 6 months or so. When I have popcorn, I'll have that one. And then I went to the store the other day and I grabbed the bottle of popcorn, and when I realized I had gotten the yellow kernels, which I never gotten before. Um, but I said, "Oh, okay, I'll try them." Since I had picked it up, I said, "Okay, I'll try them." And this might be too big, but I'm gonna finish it. Um, anyways, what did he say? I'm like, what's this? I'm a woodworker or used to be. I'll see if I have some seeds to spare Auntie Ellen. She wanted what you call it? Ground cherry, right? I should have wrote that down. Now usually I have a book right here for writing that kind of stuff down. Um, I don't think I have any ground cherries, um, but I will check and see. Ouch! 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 Seeds to spare. Be careful, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Ground cherry seeds. I'll have to look. Auntie Ellen, I'll have to look and see if I have any. If I have some, I'll send you some. But yeah, it's been a minute since I've painted. And I want to get back to it. There's a lot of things I want to do. I've got a couple things that I've promised people that I would get done this week, and so I got to get those done for sure. And then, yeah. Auntie Ellen, have you talked to Gina since you've been back? Everything is good. I was just wondering. Two, three. Online auctions are fun, but can screw up your budget. Yeah. I used to do online auctions, but I don't do that anymore. Um, because yeah, it's not good for me. For real, for real. The shipping is killer. Yeah. Gina, I was just asking if you had talked to Gina. Gina versus Gina. But yeah, I don't know why I thought that. It just came to my head. I wonder if she's talked to Gina. Mhm. Shipping is a thing. It really is. And it kind of makes me wonder, about, give second thoughts about some things. It's like, yeah, I would do this and so, but shipping is a thing. um, and shipping hits you. People don't realize it, but shipping kind of hits you both ways. Like it doesn't matter whether I'm sending something or receiving something, if I'm ordering something or if I'm sending something out to somebody, it just hits you. Gina just went to see Shirley. Yes, she did. She did. If Gina ever calls you and tell you that she's coming, you better call me and tell me so I could come at the same time. I was gonna ask you, honestly, what is the weather difference like between there and at Sissy's house? I had my I had a few bad auction experiences. Suppose new parts were used, etc. Oh, I had an eye on a Degas sketch. I hung in there until about 1,000. It was sold for three. Whew. Yeah, that's not something that I can do. Don't get me wrong. I do have a couple of pieces of that's not what I'm saying. I have purchased a couple of pieces of art over the years. In fact, that one right there is purchased. That's not one of mine. It's one that I purchased over 40 years ago. It's one of the first pieces I actually purchased. But I've purchased certain pieces over the years for various reasons. And yeah, it's not something I make a habit of doing. Not in my budget. Yeah, when you go CG What, don't eat the oxtails. You're not supposed to go without me. Okay, so if somebody sets a date, I can put it on my calendar and we can go. That part. I let's see. Like I want Japanese knives way under retail. And they sent junk knives as if I wouldn't notice. Oh no. No, 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 no. I won't run out of food, y'all. Come on. And I wanted to buy a brick Dur wood block and it sold for 8,000. I have one thing to say about that. The bigger the boys, the more expensive their toys. That's what happens. You grow up and you get more expensive toys. And I'm not no judgment here because I'm getting ready to go on an Alaska cruise. The bigger the boys, the bigger your vacations. Bills. That part. I need to finish this hat before I get off of here, y'all. Y'all see me looking up at the clock. I'm like, what are you doing? Handcrafted quilts sell for thousands. This is true. Very, very true. don't like making stuff for sale. I mean, I shouldn't say it that way, but that's true. I really don't like making things for sale. I really like making things to gift. Um, and I guess it's because I don't like the whole everything is retail. Um, and it's not, and it's funny, the term, we should talk about this anyways. The term transactional comes up, and it's not so much transactional, but it's like I'm not saying that things don't have a value. I think things absolutely have a value. But for me, the value of the thing is not it's not permanent, etched in stone, static. The value of the thing is, it fluctuates depending on, you know, who's valuing it. For example, I may value highly a hand crochet baby hat, but nobody else may value it that highly. So there. Um, but if I make it and give it to you, then it's something that I highly value. And when people hand make and give me things, I highly value those things as well. Um, there's no price tag. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying I feel some kind of way about putting a price tag on things that I normally make for people that I care about. Yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, if you say so. I brought a silver. Wait a minute. Be right back. I need to put a salad bowl in the sink. G-Quat, your quilts are worth the money. Yes, they are. They absolutely are worth the money. And that's the other thing that bothers me about it. Handcrafted things are worth the money, but people do not want to spend the money. And I think that's also part of why I don't want to sell anything, because if I make it and I put the time and the effort into making it, um, I want it to be have good energy. And so in order for it to have good energy, then I have to put good intentions into it. And if I'm just thinking about dollars, my intentions are not going to be that great. So I bought a silver and wood necklace from a well-known Mexican artisan just because it was below market value. Yeah. There are some things I am that way about. Not a lot though. Um, Waiting for you to thread your machine. I make my quilts to show and for family legacy. I've been sewing, but I haven't been quilting. I have so many. I'm gonna make that Crazy Eights quilt top, the top. Gonna. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna actually finish the quilt, but I am gonna do the top. In fact, I'm gonna do it this year. Y'all heard it here first. Like I have in my quilts. That's why I don't sell my art commercially. Yeah, that part. I don't sell. I don't sell anything commercially. Yet. I mean, I might, because I'm really seriously considering starting a business and maybe starting to sell some stuff commercially. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Um, and like my art, definitely don't sell my art commercially, but I have given it away. I donated it to I donated a piece to a nonprofit. Um, and I have a friend who has a nonprofit that is what is it called? It's called Random Acts of Kindness, RAK. Um, and I've donated to her to give to other worthy causes. Which I need to get in touch with her again because I want to do another donation. Um, Yeah, part. So yeah, it was a necklace ring combo, silver and cobolo. Any woman out there who want to marry a 62-year-old man, I will present it to you. You're not married? Wait a minute. You're 62? Wow. Mm-hmm. That's my friend's nonprofit. It's Random Act of Kindness, RAK. And she just finds um worthy causes and makes donations to them. She started off doing it out of her pocket. And so it was kind of small. Sometimes it was kind of small, but like she would give a $50 card to a mom, a single mom with 5 kids or something like that, or she would go by the Veteran Center and leave McDonald's gift cards for, you know, $5 or something on it. Things like that. She would find somebody in the community who did something kind and was maybe not acknowledged much for it, and she would bring some light to that, do a thing to it. So, but anyways, that was her business. That's her business, and I have donated to her business before, donated artwork um, before, and it was nice because it was for a veterans um, assistance program, and they had gotten some additional office space and they were redoing everything and they needed some artwork. So there's that. I'm 62, never married. I'm a white man, though, also a veteran. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Uh, yes. I think this is going to be a little bit too big. Yeah, I don't care though. I'm going to finish it. Because kids have big heads. Y'all don't know. I should look it up. What's the circumference of an infant's head? I can't spell. What size is an infant's head? The average head circumference of a newborn around is 13 to about 13 inches. 13 inches. Okay. Um, this measure is usually taken as a frontal, I can't read that word, OFC, which is the distance around the head, passing above the eyebrows, the most prominent part of the back of the head. Okay. And it says 13 inches. Okay. It says 13 inches. Okay. 13 inches. Let me see. 13 inches. Let me see. 13 inches. Let me see. How long is this? This is a little bit big. It's a little bit big. Okay. I got you. I'll make the second one a little bit smaller. I'll just switch to a smaller hook because this one is probably closer to 15 inches. So, I'll make it a little bit smaller. Does not matter to me either. Skin color doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, I did get distracted. Uh, 31 Delta combat medic, U.S. Army, was in Iraq in combat. Got the CMD. Okay. Skin color doesn't matter. Thank you, Jackie A. and all veterans. Jackie A. Doesn't matter to me either. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me either. People are people, and there's good people and not so good people, but people are people. 1 month family baby is a big boy with a big head. He's 10 pounds already. Yeah. Babies have big heads. Look, I'm just all I'm saying. Most big, and the thing of it is kids in general have big heads, not just babies. Babies have big head and kids have big heads. So kids grow into their head. It's like your head. I think your head is the slowest growing part of your body, so it starts out bigger. So as it grows, and you're growing into it. But that's why kids can get in trouble with balance because their head is that much heavy, and they can like tip over into a pool or into a lake or something like that because they're top heavy. Yeah, I'm just being mean. I should do better. David, you not no angel. I know. I see you over there laughing. So 10 pounds already. That's nice, big boy. My 1 month family baby. Yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing a little business. I don't know though. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if there's a demand, or if there's a potential market or anything like that. So I'm giving it some thought, and I'll figure things out as I go. Yep, I used to be ashamed of my virginity. Don't care anymore. People find reasons to be ashamed, but there's really never a good one. You just be who you are. That's all you can do is be who you are. And there's no shame in that. None at all. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about um some wisdom, some words of wisdom. And one of those things was, I can put it in context if you I can put it in context if you guys want me to, but it's anyways, the point is one of those things was to I'm gonna have to read it. All right, y'all. Stop this courting. I don't know what's going on with my signal. And it does this every time about this time of night. Um, so the word of wisdom is Do not value the opinions of others over your own. David, Auntie, y'all be nice. Did you hear what I said, Jack? Do not value the opinion of others over your own. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter what anybody. Ugh, this signal is doing something stupid. It's making me crazy. But it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. All that matters is, you know, what do you think? But yeah, that was a word of wisdom that came out of our conversation. It was a good conversation. But yeah, do not value the opinions of others. Um, and I like to turn that around and say that that I value my opinions over the opinions of others, particularly when it comes to opinions about me. So, what you think about me has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. That's what I'm saying. David is probably jamming the Wi-Fi signal. Yeah, because he knows I'm talking about you, David Corey. I like to say that. David. David is actually one of my damn. One of my favorite names. Anyways, David. David. Anyways, yeah. Um I have I can't. I just can't. Anyways, oh, my neighbors just went to sleep. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it. They went to sleep and now my signal is steady. No problem. I got it. Or it may have been that Zoom that was running in the background or something like that. I don't know. Or it could have been the weather that we've had today. I don't know. I'm joking. I don't count to 10 on me. Okay. No, David, I lost a David this week. Um, yeah. Anyways, salad bowl. What did he say? I saw my salad bowl. She wants salad. My wife saw my salad bowl. She wants salad. Lunch. I had to make dressing for her. That's nice. I don't eat salads very often anymore. I like them. I just don't eat them very much often anymore. So yeah. Jack, make sure to be kind when stating okay, opinion. Positives only. I kind of get lonely sometimes when I've been drinking whiskey, but I remember how women can be such. Uh, yeah. Yeah. We just try to keep it positive over here. Positive vibes only. And you know what, guys? I appreciate y'all coming over and hanging out with me on these Monday nights. I almost didn't go live tonight, and it was not for any particular reason other than it was storming, and I knew that the signal would not be the greatest, and I might like lose power, and so I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna go live. And then the storm passed, and it was like, oh, good, I get to do. Um, I get to go live tonight. And I was like, what do I really feel like? Yeah, and I go through that almost every week. I go through, I don't feel like it, I don't want to. This is not me. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. Blah 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 blah. All those things I go through. I brought my mom a great handmade salad on Sunday. Oh, that's nice. No, you're okay, Jack. We just keep it positive over here, no problem. Um, I like this to be a safe space for people. I like it to be the vibe to be chill. Um, and I guess I've talked about it a little bit on here, but I can talk about it a little bit more. But that's what I come here for. I come here for some 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 healthy entertainment. I don't get bogged down into the negative. I'm not saying that there's not bad things in life because there are, but you will rarely hear me talk about them on the channel unless there's a particular issue that we need to address for whatever reason. Um, I just like this to be a chill place, so people can hang out, have a good time, and kind of let go of some of the stresses and stressors in life. That's my whole vibe over here. If I could make it better with some music or something like that, I would. But these copyright people, they be on their job. Yeah. So there's that. um, but maybe one day I'll learn how to play my guitar, and and I could play some music. That would be kind of cool. Let's see. I woke up from an evening nap, just finished my morning exercises because I have an 8:30 ENT appointment. Allergies. Oh yeah, allergies. This hasn't been a bad year for me in allergies. Um, some years are worse than others, but this one hasn't been bad at all. I think this is my last. I think this is my last row, y'all. So yeah. Mm. Keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. I gotta do some weeding. Like I told y'all, I'm scared to go in my garden. There's so many weeds out there. It's like I go out there and I was like, oh my goodness. It's like this side of the yard is a wall of green between my muscadines, my fig tree, my plum tree, and my peach tree. It's just a wall of green. It's like, I don't want to go back there. I'm afraid. And then my gardens are over here. My garden beds are over here. Um, I'm drinking water. It's water. I actually have 2 cups of water over here. But yeah, um, my garden beds are over here, and over there they're more contained, because they have the things around the boards around them, and you can the lawn guy weeds up real close, and they're more contained. But in the beds, it's weedy. It's so weedy. It's like, I don't know. But and it's funny because I just go up to the edge and I just start. I just start like that. Until I've got tired of pulling out stuff. I don't care whether it's weeds or plants or whatever, because everything in there is volunteers. So that hard to, wait a minute, what did he say? Uh, What are you drinking? You can sing to us. My allergies kicked up in Arizona over 1,100 degrees every day for over a month. And dry. Yeah, the dry is the part that really gets to me. over there. I can sing to y'all. I can sing to y'all. That's funny. My entire lawn is weeds. That's how hard to exercise to me nowadays. Yeah, it's hot. It's just hot. Half my garden is weeds and stuff I never planted. Mike, I've been watching your videos of the things that are popping up in your yard. Um, you're doing a good job of identifying them. My yard is mostly weeds. It's okay though. Dandelions are special herbs. Yeah, I discovered Jack. That's mostly herbs. Okay, I don't know what kind of herbs y'all talking about. I discovered asparagus. Oh, no, 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 no. Asparagus bugs? Dang it. There's something else I need to worry about? Hey, they found their food. I hope not because I haven't harvested any asparagus to eat yet. And I'm looking forward to having asparagus next year to eat. Dandelions are special herbs. I exercise every day. G Quat, you making us look bad. Seriously, you making me look bad. I don't like that. I'm gonna need you to not make me look bad. I googled so many varieties tonight. Lots of toxic weeds and volunteer stuff gone to seed. Most weeds we know today are indeed herbs. Yeah. I need to there's a couple weeds that keep coming up in my containers. I mean, most of the things that come up I recognize them right away. But there's a couple things that keep coming up and I cannot for the life of me remember what it is. I remember it when I look at it. It's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you before," but I can't remember what it is. Most weeds in the indeed herbs, yeah. But yeah, there's some, and then there are others that come up, weeds that come up in the yard, and I don't necessarily know them. And it's like I need to figure out what these are because, like David was saying, a lot of the things that we see are weeds are really herbs. Mugwort. I don't know mugwort when I see it, so I'd have to look that one up. I might have some. I want to inspire y'all youngins. I'll be 77 in November. Oh, you're a youngin' still. 77. Y'all won't let me join your club, so I'm not gonna talk about your advanced stage. Since you won't let me join your club. Ah, I want to join your club so bad. It's like, let me join, let me join. I got a whole she's a youngin'. It's like I got a whole what? You have to be 70 to join your club? I got 8 years till then. Spring chicken auntie. Scorpio. My son's a Scorpio. And boy, does he know how to sing. Bop! But let me tell you about that boy. Let me just tell y'all about that boy. I know y'all don't want to hear about my son, but well, I love talking about my kids because they're the best. Let me tell you about that boy. When he gets on my last nerve, he goes, "I love you, mama." Yeah, that's my boy. And he know. He know. I'm like, boy, you know you on my last nerve. But yeah. And he will send me a message, just a little text message, a daily check text message, or nothing. And it'll say, I just got up. I'm going to grab me something to eat, and I'm going to go to the gym. I love you, mama. And I'm like, what was that? I love you too, baby. I love you the most. That's what I say. all the time. I love you the most. Like, what was that? Or he'll go, my roommates are idiots. I'm like, you chose to live with them. You picked them. Why are you complaining to me? It's like, I told you not to do that. Remember? It's like you don't want to get in with some friends of yours because at the end of the day, you won't be friends no more. Stay far away. Stay far away, and then you can maintain that friendship. But anyways, is life. What am I seeing here? Rosemary is another great herb. Yeah. Dandelions have a taproot that will grow in lawns that need the soil to be broken up. I did not have dandelions this year. Yeah, I do have dandelions. And if I was 3 years older, I'd holler at Jequat, David, you were so bad. Uh-huh. David, I love you just the way you are. Rosemary is another great herb. Yes, rosemary is a really good herb. And unfortunately for me, rosemary doesn't like me. I kill it on the regular basis. I mean, that's not the word. I smirk it. I don't even know what word I'm saying. But yeah, yeah. I'm not really good with rosemary. But I do have some growing right now that seems to be still hanging in there. So there's that. But yeah, I don't do well with rosemary. I try, but I don't do well with rosemary. Let's see. Rosemary doesn't like a lot of water. Well, it's not going to be happy this year because it's been raining like crazy. I know I don't have it sitting in a pan underneath to collect the water. So it's not sitting in water, but yeah, it's been raining every day. So I have rosemary. It always dies in the winter. Um, David whispers. She done wore out herself. Mike, you wrong for that. You are wrong for that, Mike. Sounds like a challenge to me. That's all I can say. Challenge. Challenge. No one sees dandelions in your lawn if you mow it. That's true. That is very true, Darthex. But they do tend to pop up before the grass does. And let me just tell you, I get my lawn mowed every 2 weeks. But this last 2 week period, it was like if I don't get out there with the weed eater or something, I'm not gonna be able to walk out there because the grass is just that long. It's grown with all this rain that we've had and this heat. It's just been growing like crazy. It seems like the grass in the backyard grows an inch overnight. All I'm saying is when you what is the phrase? When you throw the gauntlet, don't be mad when somebody picks it up and runs with it. That probably made no sense at all. Ah, y'all are something. Y'all are something. I'm just about finished with this hat. I think I'm gonna put one more row. Um, just a little another edging row on it, and I'm gonna call it done. And then I'm gonna get a, um, a smaller hook and make another one. Make a smaller one because this one I think is a little bit big. But yeah, and then Um, yeah, then everything will be all finished. I can drop it in the washer in the morning and get it to the post office before 4, and it'll go out tomorrow. If I have an address, I need to get an address. That part, yeah. Okay, David, I'm not playing with you no more. You're gonna get me in trouble with Auntie Ellen, and I don't want to be in trouble with Auntie Ellen because I respect my elders, even if I want her to be a big sister and not an elder. I think she should look at me as a little sister and allow me in the club. And so, yeah, that part, I respect my elders. Bada bada boom. She quite knows I'm joking. At least I think I am. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Y'all are a mess. I don't know why I'm making this hat. I'm kind of mad about this hat anyway. This is so cute. I'm gonna put a little pom pom on it. It's gonna be really, really cute. Should I make the pom pom 2 colors or just 1 color? I might make the pom pom 2 colors. I don't know. 94 is a what? Thank you. So I can soon be in the club. Cause in the club, um, my 94-year-old mom puts on her red lipstick every day in rehab. She watches the replays and sometimes laughs her head off. Therefore, she's earned it though. Yeah, she's earned it. Who was it? Somebody I saw had on some beautiful, like, um, I don't even know what, like, it was almost a black cherry lipstick. You know, we used to buy the black cherry colored lipstick. And it was like, man, that is so pretty. Now, I'm not a lipstick person, y'all. To be honest, I'm not a lipstick person. I will put on some in a minute, every now and again, but for the most part, it's just not my jam. But when I saw that, I was like, it can be my jam. It can be my jam. Okay, that's cute. Is it? Look, it's cute. It's just a little hat that you can roll the edges up on it. Yeah, there you go. It's a little hat. It's a little big. I think it's a little big. So I'm gonna I used the H hook. I'm probably gonna go down to a F hook and make the same one again. And so it'll be probably about, so it probably will be about that size. That instead of that, yeah, I'll show you another side. Yeah. So it'll be this big instead of this big. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. Get the hook up. I might just use, that's a H. I don't really want to use a G. I think the G is not going to be small enough, so I think I'll use a F. That's an E. That's a G. Hold on a second. That's a G. What's that? I don't know what that is. I know I got an F somewhere. I guess I'm going to have to go and look over in the thing to find it. What's that? That's an E. E is too small. Yep. Whatever. Whatever. That's a 5. That 3.5. A 4.5. This is an F. An F. I'm trying to see what the millimeters are on it. 3.75. Whereas a G is either a 4 or 4.5. No, I think it's a 4. But yeah. We're gonna put some red lipstick on, yeah, every day. I wish I was that person, but I'm not. I kind of wish I was that person, but I'm not. But I'm not. See, G-Quad said I could sing to y'all, and there you go. I made up a song about nothing. I remember all those hooks. I have so many. It's ridiculous. It's because I'll see a new set and I'll go, ooh, I want to try that. And before you know it, I have purchased another set. So I'm trying to think, what do I have? I have the clover. I don't have the set. I have a couple of clovers. And I have a set of prims. And then I have a set of these ones. I don't know what they're called. People call them the Colgate one or something because they kind of look like Colgate toothbrushes. But I have that set, which I love, and I might buy it again. So if I ever lose a break or they wear out, whatever, I'll have a set on deck for that. But then I also have a bunch of random ones that I've bought over the years when I would just, sometimes I'd be traveling or whatever and I wouldn't have any supplies with me, and I was like, and I had time on my hands. It's like, well, if I had some yarn, I could make some stuff. So I'll go to the store and I'll buy some yarn and I'll buy a hook. Most likely when I do that, it's either a GH or an I, or the combo GH or I. And so I have a lot of random hooks. Like literally when I looked in that bag, I pulled out like 3 size G hooks, different models, different brands, whatever. Because it's the size I buy when I'll buy a random one for whatever reason. And so I have the Susan Bate ones and I have the boy ones. Um, and then I just have some random ones that that I picked up here and there at remember the store? What's the store? Tuesday Morning. Oftentimes you could find some random hooks in there for little to nothing, and well, whatever. I would pick them up. Anyways, I remember all those hooks. My grandmother knitted, but my mom didn't. I suppose I remember them from my grandmother's house. Yeah, I mostly crochet, but I also knit, and I started a pair of socks that I never finished, and I'm mad about it because I like to make a couple of pair of socks every year. This is so cute. Isn't it cute? It's cute. It's a little bit on the big side, so I'm gonna use. I think I might use the G hook. I don't want it too much smaller. I used the H hook for this one. I think I'm gonna use a G hook and make a second one. It's gonna be a little bit smaller. Let me weave this in, and then I'm gonna make the pom pom. So let me see. I'm going to weave this in, and make a pom-pom. So, David, my mom is one of those fancy, pretty girls, always. My sister Joanne as well. I do whatever I want. Yeah, I was I think when my parents were doing fancy and pretty with my older sisters, I was hanging out with my brothers. So yeah, that part. Um, I don't even know how to do fancy pretty. Y'all know me. I might not even get my hair together. You know if it's not together because I'll just put a scarf on it. It's like, nope, didn't feel like doing that today. Put a scarf on it. I was hanging out with my dad. Yep, that part. um, yep, I was either hanging out with my brothers or hanging out with my dad. Up until about the age, probably about the age of 13 or so. Um, I was wherever my dad was, I was right there. Always right there. This is so cute. This is so cute. Okay. Should I make the pom pom just pink or should I make it pink and white? Y'all tell me. Pink or pink and white? Pink or pink and white? Let me see how that would look. Do I have the white? If I don't have the white, it's going to be pink. Where's the white? Hmm. I got a problem, y'all. Hold on a sec. I don't know where the white went to. I don't know where the white went to. Oh well. Um, that's not good. That's not good. I'm still here, guys. I just turned the camera off because I needed to get up for a second. Oh. Now I'm moaning and groaning like something's wrong. There's not a darn thing wrong. Oh, there's some white right there. Lavender, if no white, pink and white. Um, I have some white and I have some pink. And I'm gonna make a little pom pom. A little pom 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 pom. A little pom 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 pom. Pom 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 pom. Pom 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 pom. A little pom 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 pom. I remember to turn my camera off when I got up from watching. Yeah. Yeah, it could be a little bit awkward if you don't turn your camera off. Okay, I'm making a mess. I'm gonna have to start all over again. So I gravitated toward my mom when I was young and my mother and my father when I got older. Um, when I was really young, I spent a lot of time with my one of my cousins who um, who had children my age. Um, and then as I got older, I spent some time, more time with mom, um, until I started school. And then after that, it was mostly my dad up until, like I said, I was about 13 or so years old. And cool. I enjoyed all of the time with all of the peoples. And by the time I would say by the time I was probably 7 or 8 years old, I was really the kid that was um, pretty much used to um, hanging with whoever. Um, and so it became kind of kind of my thing. It was like, if someone came in, whatever, and it's like, oh, mama, can I go with them? It's like, oh, yeah, go ahead, whatever. And that continued until I was about, well, when I was about 13. Right about the time I got about 13 years old, um, that's when mom kind of put a kibosh on me going so much with other people and spending so much time away from home. Um, I wonder why that is, but that's the way it was. Actually, it may have even been a little bit sooner than that. It may have been around 11. Um, when I was younger, no, it was probably around 13 because I did, at 12, I remember I went to stay with my aunt in DC for the summer. Me and a cousin, my aunt's granddaughter, um, who was also my age. We went to stay in DC. That was fun. That was so much fun. And it was 1976, I want to say. And if y'all don't remember, but that was the bicentennial year. So there was a lot of stuff going on in DC that year. And so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But yeah. So I'm making a pink and white puff. Puff. Um, the white yarn is a good bit thicker than the pink, so I didn't put as much of it in the puff as the pink because I didn't want it to be more white than pink. Um, and yeah, it's turned out pretty good so far. It looks like it's turning out pretty good. Uh, there's actually a little tool thing that you can use to make these with to make them more even and make them more even and more easily. But this is just how I've always done it. There's also a template you can cut out of like cardboard to make these too. I've just never do it. I just wrap it around my fingers until I get it the size I think I want it. And yeah, it works out. Generally, it works out for me. I don't think I put in Montgomery's weather today. I should probably put that in there. So let me see what we got going on over here. Uh-huh. Weather for Montgomery. Conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the southwest at 3 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 97%. And it just stopped raining. But it's nice that it's cooled off, so it won't be miserable outside in the morning. I think I've lost my I think the hot days have killed my strawberries. I don't know for sure. My parents never let us go anywhere. Our siblings were our friends and cousins, but at our house, Daddy didn't trust anyone around his wife and 4 daughters. That's a good, I don't even know what I'm saying. That's a good attitude to take, actually. That's how I was with my kids, and I think I was that way with my kids because of some of the things that I experienced and saw as a kid that I just didn't want my kids exposed to at young ages, like I was exposed to, because some of it was very inappropriate. Um, and and the thing is, why take a chance with your kids? It's like, my dad wasn't around when I was young, and he was always working. Perhaps I resented that as I got older. I understand why he was that way because I'm that way. Yeah, my dad was one of those kinds of providers. He was a silent provider. I don't think my dad ever said, I love you until I was an adult. If he did, I have no recall of it at all. Definitely never said I'm proud of you. Um, None of that kind of stuff. Um, the only time I really had conversation with him was if it was I was in trouble, and my mom was like, "Wait till your dad comes home, and then go tell your dad about your day," that kind of thing. So it was not much. But don't get me wrong, it was not that he was, cold and uncaring and anything like that. Nothing like that at all. But he had a hearing loss, and so he just did not have conversation in groups. Usually, if you were talking to him, it was one on one, or he would be doing the talking and you would be doing the listening, and that was because of his hearing. And so, um, yeah, it is what it is. um, mhm. So yeah, absolutely. Your father loved you, sure did, and he took that seriously. Some people don't. And the funny thing about it nowadays is, um, this very same action today can be, um, you find people criticizing it. It's like, why are you isolating them? Why are you, those kinds of questions. And it's like, dude, it's not about that. It ain't about that. It's about taking care of the people you care about. I did not let my kids um, go with other people, hardly anywhere. If they had to be somewhere, if my husband couldn't be there, then I was there. If I couldn't be there and my husband couldn't be there, 9 times out of 10, my kids weren't there. There was one or two people that I trusted with them. And like I said, when I say one or two, I mean one or two. And it almost became a problem because when my youngest had to have some surgery and we had to be, at the hospital the wee hours of the morning. It's like, do we take our second child or do we take him out of school with us or do we just take him, or what? Is there somebody we can leave him with or whatever? And it was like, no, there's nobody I can leave him with. There's nobody I trust to leave him with. Um, so yeah. Let me see. What does it say? I was a feral child. The only rule was being before before it was noticed. Yep, that right. That's right. I left home at 15, got a job, apartment, etc. Different times. Yeah. Now that you mention it, me and my dad never told each other that we loved each other. Yeah. After I became an adult, my dad had definitely said it. That he loved me, that he was proud of me. Um, but my dad was a provider kind of guy. Um, he went to work. He went to work, all the time. And we had a steady check. We had a steady income, and we had a roof over our head, and we had food on the table, and we had clothes on our back. Um, and we never had to worry about those things. Never, ever had to worry about those kinds of things. If we got sick, we went to the doctor. It was not an issue. And that's what my dad did. That was his job, to make sure that his family had those things. And he did a good job of that. Um, and with lots of people growing up in my community did not have those things, just those simple things. They didn't have those things. But we did. And I say I did, but we did. The five kids, we had those things. And we had the supportive family. And it's interesting to me because a lot of times there's a lot of um I don't even know what you call it. There's noise. I call it noise. There's a lot of noise out there about fathers and their roles and what they do and what they don't do and all that stuff. And when I hear those things, I'm like, who's father? I don't know who they're talking about because I don't know those people. Now that you minute me, my dad never told each other though. Daddy always worked. Um, Mama, my maternal grandma was our living nanny. We did homework and chores. Mom still watches all my live streams when she's at home, tells me when I mess up. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing and wonderful. Oh, this is so cute. Okay. It's so cute. I'll look at it. It's so cute. I can't help myself, y'all. I can't help myself. Let's see if I can pull that through. Yep. Let's see if I can pull that through. I don't know if I can do. I'll do on the other side. That's fine. At a certain point in my relationship with my father, we both knew that we loved each other without saying it. Yeah. And that's good because sometimes people um wait for the words, they wait for the words. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes people don't communicate through words. Sometimes people communicate through actions. And if you're the person that needs the words, it's really difficult for you to understand and to to know that you are loved and cared for when you never hear the words. Um, um, that's just tough. Oh my God, look at that. It's so cute. Okay, y'all. Anyways. Poemote, mom said I love you in Latin. Dad never told us until adulthood. We still go home if we want to. We can still go home if we want to. Same. That's pretty funny. Um, where's my? Let's trim this down. It's so cute. It's so. Y'all. Look at that. That's so good. Okay, that's enough. Y'all see, I get easily distracted. That's funny. And look. This is from making the ball, the ping pong, the whatever. I can't even think of what the thing is called. But I'm gonna save this because I can use it to stuff um things like, you know, stuffed animals, amigurumis or whatever. That kind of stuff. I can use it for that. I think I'm gonna use the green one. Bum, 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 ba-da-da, bum, 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 bum. Stop, because I'm gonna get a copyright strike here in a minute. I don't know what that music is from. Your crochet squirrel, exactly. I gotta, Mike. I have not found a good pattern for that. I found some patterns that are okay, but they're not good. And let me do this. Maybe I'll do it this way this time. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't found a great pattern for that yet, but I'm still looking. I found a decent pattern, um, and I need to get onto it. I got too much on my list right now, and it's gonna make me cry. It's not gonna make me cry because I'm not a crybaby. But yeah, whenever I have um, loose ends, depending on how long they are, if they're long enough and I can put them, on a ball, then I'll add them to the ball of loose ends. But when I make the things and I have like little cuttings and shavings like that, I just put it in a Ziploc bag for when I'm making something that I need to stuff. Um, because stuffing is something that if you don't save it, you have to buy it. But yeah, and even if you save it, you're going to have to buy some anyways. That's another thing too. That's another thing. This yarn is pretty. My son gave me this for Christmas. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Thank you. I guess you know something I don't know." Who knew I would be making some little baby girl hats and would need some pink yarn and would not have any because that's a color I don't buy. That part. Who knew? Evidently somebody knew because my son bought me this yarn. I'm sleepy, rocking, and humming. I am. And that is a notification for a 10-minute warning, guys. I'm going to get out of here in about 10 minutes. I'm not super sleepy. I am a little bit sleepy, and I am rocking and humming, though. So I guess I'm more tired than I knew. I knew I was tired, y'all. It's been a rough week. I told y'all it's been a rough week. I got some not so good news and some more not so good news and some more not so good news this week. Um, and so that's been difficult. Um, okay, 12 minutes. Y'all think everything is negotiable. You act like my kids. Y'all think everything is negotiable. Not everything is negotiable. I'm just saying. I know I generally give in to y'all guys because honestly, I give in because I want to be here. I want to be on here, and if you guys are, hanging in with me, and we still having a good time, I don't mind. I don't mind staying a little bit longer than that. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to be here. I look forward to Monday nights hanging out, getting a little something done, and hanging out with friends. Yeah, that's nice. Just go to 3 hours. LOL. Look, you are just being so. Mm, hmm. I don't know what that's called, but I'm sure there's a word for that. Oh, yeah, here we go. I told y'all my son came home. I was so excited to see him. And the funny thing is, it's not like it's been that long since I've seen him. I don't. Yeah, yeah. Last month. I saw him last month. But I just like to helpful. Right. I just really enjoy spending time with my kids. Um, when they have time for me, I enjoy that they have time for me. Um, because they got lives. They're young. They got things going on, and hanging out with their old mamas probably not high on their list of things to do, but they do roll in from time to time. But the other one's supposed to be coming in this weekend. So they do roll in from time to time, and I enjoy just hanging out. And we don't do nothing. Just 9 minutes from it. Okay, Mike. Okay, okay, okay. Jeez. Y'all see how he gets? Yeah, y'all see how he gets. But yeah, my son was looking at getting his star ID, which he should have had before now. Um, and he went last month. He went to California, and he was like, um, he drove, but he was flying home, but he didn't have star ID. And it was right after they said that you have to have the star ID to fly. And he was like, I'm like, buddy, you might be getting on a train or something. I don't know how you're gonna get home, but yeah, that part. What did he say? My two kids think they are boss, super protective. I just say okay to shut them up and do what I want as soon as they leave. Auntie, you're so wrong for that. But you know what? That's what I do too. That's exactly what I do too. I've got a couple of people who think they parent me, and they'll call me and they'll say something. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And as soon as I hang off the phone, I do probably just the opposite, but definitely what I want to do. It's like, ain't no need to being rude about it. You keep thinking you in charge. Yeah. And it's so funny. I've got a friend whose mom is like that with her. Her mom's always telling her what to do. And she was like, what am I going to do? I'm like, lie. She's like, what? I'm like, lie. Whatever she says, you just say yes to. Just say yes. And, if she says, and you're going to do this right, you lie and say, yes, ma'am. She was like, you are so wrong for that. I'm like, why? Why upset her? My thing is, why upset her? She's not going to change her mind. She's still going to think the way that she thinks. You're a grown woman, man, boy, whatever you are, and you get to make the decisions for your life. If you're a parent, even if I'm your parent, I tell my kids this all the time. Even if I'm your parent and I'm telling you what to do, you say yes, ma'am, and then do what you want to do. But you don't have to upset me by arguing with me, by trying to convince me that you're right. Don't go through all that. Don't go. Just say yes, ma'am, and keep it moving. Because I know that you're going to do what you want to do anyway. It's my job as a parent to point out the fallacy of your ways. That's my job. It's my job to point out that you're getting ready to fall off the end of the cliff. But if unless I got some rope to tie next to you, I can't keep you from jumping if you're ready to jump. I can tell you that this is not going to end well. I can tell you that I really strongly advise you not to do that. I can even threaten you or try to bribe you. But the bottom line is your decision. And whatever decision you make, I'm gonna be good with it because that was your choice for your life. And you get to make that choice for your life. And I'm the same way about my life. I get to make that choice for my life. And so I'm not gonna argue with you about it or fight with you over it. I'm just gonna say, okay, and then do what I want. She says, exactly. That's exactly right. I had to learn that lesson very early on with my niece and my nephew. I have a nephew that's 10 years younger than I am, and I have a niece that's 12 years younger than I am. And as they were growing older and, beginning to make decisions, their decisions, some of the things that they decided to do were not things that I thought was good for them to do. And I really hurt over it. Like, why'd you do this? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you come to me? Blah, 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 all of those things. And, I really can't believe you did this kind of thing. And it's like, wait a minute, stop, back up. You're an adult. You get to make those decisions for yourself. And I'm an adult who loves you and cares about you and only want the best for you. Um, but I'm also not going to stand in the way of you making decisions for your life. And once I learned that lesson, and I'm telling you, it's a tough lesson to learn, it made my relationship with them better. Because they knew that even if I don't like what they're doing, I'm still going to be there supporting them, in the ways that I can. I may not fund your follies. uh, but I'm not gonna stand in your way. Oh my goodness, raggedy mosquito got me on the elbow. Ugh. One got me right here. I was like, that you wrong for that. You just wrong for that. Right here. Right here. Like, you are just wrong for that. And the thing about the mosquitoes are really bad right now. They are horrendous right now. I can't go outside without getting bitten, which is crazy but true. Very crazy but true. Oh, I don't know what the rest of the year is gonna bring. Um, I'm actually excited, which is kind of weird, but I'm actually excited for the rest of the year because I do have some things scheduled, some things on the calendar. I do have a little bit of anxiety about these things coming up. I always get a little bit of anxiety before I have a trip coming up. Um, Not too bad. I mean, it's not debilitating or anything like that, but it's enough that makes me wonder, why are you so upset? Da, 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 da. I want a snack, but nothing to eat. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about actually maybe some peanut butter on toast or something like that because I want something a little bit more substantial than popcorn. I was thinking about popcorn, but then I was like, that's not going to hit where I needed to hit. I forgot I ordered some. Oh, an apple. You got an apple. Oh, yeah, I do have some fruit. I have a lot of fruit in there. Mmm. Make me think about it. It's like, now I have to think about it. Do I want? Do I want? Do I want? I use patchouli oil for the mosquitoes. I have some good bug spray. TT's Urban Pantry, apple and sunflower seed butter. Oh, cool. Yeah, TT are is TT's are blah 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 blah. TT Tia made some. I have some of hers from TT's Urban Pantry, and I also have some of my Renaissance grandma's. And I haven't used TT's before, but I have used my Renaissance grandma's, and it works. It works absolutely works really well. Um, if I'm gonna be outside, it depends on what I'm doing outside. If I'm gonna be outside and I know I'm gonna be out for quite a while, I do have a thing. It's called a thermocell that I use where I'll put it out there before I go out. A few minutes before I go out, and it does like a 15-foot perimeter, and so I can work in a particular area and not have to worry about getting bit. But if I'm not going to be in one area, then I'll use the spray, um, and it worked. They My Renaissance grandma's works really good. Um, I knew it worked, but I didn't know how well it worked until we went to Louisiana, and we checked into the place that we were staying, and I put some on because it was on kind of on a slough, like a backwater. It was like a cypress pine, and it was really nice. But I'm like, oh, we're gonna have lots of mosquitoes here, and so I put some on, and we walked down to the deck, and we were standing out there talking. And my husband's like, man, the mosquitoes are bad out here, and I was like, I haven't gotten a bite. Not a single bite. And I was like, yes. And then I was like, look, I've got this bug spray that I'm using. You might want to use some too. Because he normally doesn't get, like, when he comes over here and we're in the backyard or whatever, I'm getting eat up. And I'm like, oh, we got to go in the house. And he's like, oh, I hadn't even noticed. And I'm like, yeah, right. Normally he's the one who doesn't get bitten, but whatever she put in that stuff caused them to just jump off of me and go to him. I was like, yes, yes. But yeah, they're pretty bad right now. We still in the 60s at 11 p.m. Oh, is it dark, GT Junior? What is your daylight status? How much darkness are you guys getting? Time to bring the fig trees in. Yeah, I've got two fig trees I need to get in the ground before I lose them. Um, and I'm afraid to put them in the ground because they get so darn big. I'm like, how am I going to keep this of a decent size? I'm not good with pruning stuff, y'all. Mike said that's pepper growing weather. 5 to 6 hours of darkness. Mm. So is it dark now? Well, I don't know what time it is there. It's 11 o'clock there. Yeah. So is it dark now? That's the question. I think y'all have the perfect cabbage growing weather. Can you grow some cabbage for me? I love cabbage. And I can't grow very much. I grew a small one about this size this year. Um, and it's like, really? Is that it? It's light out still. Yeah, I figured it would be at 11. But yeah, one small cabbage about this size. And then I've got another one out there about that size now. And I really should go ahead and harvest it and bring it in here because probably getting eaten up by cabbage loopers or something like that. Whatever's out there right now. There's something out there eating stuff. Okay. Good night, G Quad. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. You got an early morning appointment. Ego amute. Love you too, Auntie. Love you the most. I grew a ginormous cabbage 2 years ago. Yeah, I wish I could grow some ginormous cabbage. As much as I love them, yeah. There are a few things that just irks me that I can't grow well. And cabbage is one of them. It's like I've grown cabbage before, but I just not haven't had any luck with them recently. And it's like, why? I don't understand why. So I need to probably get some started here pretty quickly. Live long and prosper. Ah. Live long and prosper. All are funny. I will post the pictures on my community post. Okay, cool. Yeah. Did y'all know that that's a letter in the Hebrew alphabet? I think I can't remember which one it is. I want to say it's Aleph. That's not it. That's not it. Okay. I don't know which one it is. Uh-huh. But yeah, it is one of the letters in the Hebrew alphabet. I forget which one. I was gonna ask if you can do the Vulcan salute. So yeah. Um, I have that book right here, don't I? I have this book right here. It's called World Symbols. I was gonna look to see if it was in here. I think it's got a lot of symbols in here. So it might, I don't know. Chemistry, runes, Irish, Celtic, Chinese, zodiac, tarot, Zebu, kanji, Polynesian. That is so funny. Alchemical, alchemy. That is so funny. I don't know why I bought this book. I was at Ollie's, um, and I saw this book, and I went, "Oh, that would be interesting to have." Mostly because it just has a bunch of cool pictures in it. Literally, it has a bunch of cool pictures in it. And so it was like, oh, that's cool. It's got some cool pictures in it. Like it's got pictures in there, cool pictures. And, and then, so I got it. 174. There it is. think it's this one. That's Aramaic. It's taken from a hand gesture in Hebrew and it's known as, yeah, anyways. Exactly. It's a book full of useless information. But it's funny because the other day I was doing this visualization exercise and this image came to mind. And of course, I drew the image down. And then I came to the book to look for it. And of course, I didn't find the image, but I found several images that were very similar to it. And so I was able to look up the meaning of it. The secret name of God is not so secret. It's not so secret anymore. But you know, a lot of secrets are that way. They're not, it's not truly a secret. It's just not, it's not really a secret. It's just not talked about. A lot of secrets are that way. Or maybe not. I don't know. I just think a lot of things are that way that are not, people think they're secret, but they're not really secret. It's just that it's not a secret. We just don't talk about it. And if somebody asks the question, then they get the answer. And it's one of those things. It's like if you are old enough to ask the question, you're old enough to get the answer. But if you haven't figured out that there's a question to be asked yet, then I'm not going to volunteer any information for you. And I think that's how a lot of secrets are. It's more of a situation where um, you're not ready to know. It's like you are not ready to know the answer to this question. Um, oh yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna wind things down here because it's been a minute and I am getting tired. But I want to thank everybody for coming in and hanging with me tonight. We've had a good time. Like I said earlier, I just want this to be a safe place that we can hang out with friends and, you know, share what's going on um, in our lives or not. And, you know, just enjoy spending some time together. And hopefully we can learn something from each other in the process. So I will see you guys around. I may try to do a little update video or something this week because I haven't dropped a video in a little bit. But I will be back next Monday night, more than likely, same time, same place. And I would say have a good evening, everyone. Let me see if we can give some hearts, maybe some balloons, maybe some confetti, maybe not. Oh, there you go. Have a good evening, guys. See you next time.